Welcome back to the best podcast you never heard of, Mixed Reactions. I am your host, Casey Merritt, joined by Ian Blackwell and Justin Duncan. How you fellas doing?
I'm doing pretty good. But, Ian, you were...
You were very, very wrong, sir. And from my understanding, you have a little something you'd like to say.
Let me know when I can start.
You can start right now. I am more than ready.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Again, this is Ian Blackwell. Ian asked me about my wiener. Blackwell last week on our show made a horrendous take that my two brilliant co-hosts vehemently disagree with. I said both Georgia and Alabama would lose. For this take, I sincerely apologize. I was wrong. I have fallen so far from grace since my days of going 13-3 in our pick segment. I often lay awake at night pondering my life decisions, but none more so than this. My predictions are like Mac Jones in the fourth quarter. They always disappoint. From this day forward, I will be better. Sincerely, Ian Blackwell.
Beautifully read, sir. Beautifully read. It's a much appreciated, humble pie, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah, fuck you.
For those who don't know, Ian made a prediction that Georgia and Alabama were both going to lose on Saturday. That didn't happen at all. And so here we are. Here we are on a brand new day. We have a lot to go over. We're going to talk some NFL for you guys. We're going to talk some NBA. We're going to talk some Maine hockey. You might get in a little bit of baseball. We got a lot to go over. Justin, you mentioned something that I kind of want to brush on really quick here before we dive in too much and everything. You said you're kind of done just talking about the Patriots games in itself. You said you kind of have a different perspective on their future as a whole. So I'm kind of interested to see what you think about that.
Yeah, I'm just kind of done with the Patriots as a whole for the year now. This was the week that they had to have. It was their Super Bowl of the week, and they crapped themselves, for lack of a better phrase. Every opportunity in the world to take advantage of a regrouping and rebuilding Indianapolis Colts team on the road in a very Patriots-friendly stadium in Frankfurt.
Very Patriot-friendly.
And literally with the game on the line and a 2-minute drive that was easily able to happen with Zeke and Ramondre Stevenson running down the Colts' throat, Belichick benched Mac Jones.
I have never seen that before, Justin, where a quarterback gets benched for the last drive of the game. I have never seen that before. That was one of the oddest coaching decisions I have ever seen. I know you said you're done talking about the game. I'm going to brush on the game really quick. That made no sense. I don't get whatsoever what Belichick was doing. That made no sense. Mac was, 15 of 20 for 172 before that, something along those lines. It's not like he was playing phenomenal, but he was playing okay.
Threw a gimme. I mean, he had a gimme touchdown to Mike Gesicki, and he threw a lob ball.
And it was picked.
It was picked. I mean, he had Gesicki wide open by 7 yards, any direction. And yeah.
So, weird coaching decision by Belichick, and not to mention the fake spike to Bailey Zappi, where he threw it into triple coverage. Awful decision by Bailey Zappi.
Quad coverage. It wasn't triple. It was quad.
Quadruple coverage. You're not even wrong on that. Weirdest coaching decision I've ever seen. I'm not saying it was the worst because it was up there by far, but it was a weird coaching decision. Didn't make much sense to me personally. Now, with that being said, I know you're not going to talk about the game. Brush on the future of New England for a little bit. Is this Belichick's last hurrah in New England?
It needs to be. It's not at this point. It's a matter of what's best for the team. And there was something I was listening to or reading about. I'm not entirely sure. I think it was on NBC Sports Boston. This needs to be the conversation. I mean, the good news is the Patriots are on the bye week. So this gives the opportunity for Belichick and Kraft to sit together and have the conversation of, how do you want to do this? how do you want this to go down? Do you want this to be a mess exit, or do you want this to be a let's send you out on a high note, even though our team sucks, but we're gonna appreciate everything you've done for us for the better part of the last 20 years?
Yeah, it's not going to be a firing. It's going to be a mutual agrees to part ways. That's exactly what it's going to be if Belichick decides to leave.
Would I be okay? Would I be opposed to a firing at this rate? No, but would I much rather a mutual parting of the ways? Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally fair. I don't really, to be honest, I don't have much to say about the Cowboys game. It kind of went exactly as I expected it to. I mean, I saw a stat today. The Giants have scored 12 touchdowns all year. The Cowboys have scored 12 touchdowns just against the Giants alone. So that just kind of emphasizes where those two teams are.
That's the only thing that's better than the Giants.
Well, I mean, they play in a couple weeks, so I guess we'll see then as well. But, I didn't learn anything about Dallas. It's just like exactly what I was telling you after they played New England. I didn't learn a single thing about them. Everyone knew they were going to beat down the Giants. That they always beat down the Giants every single year. Didn't learn much. They finally got Brandon Cooks involved in the offense, so I like that. CeeDee Lamb, again, having another just monstrous game, becoming the first player in NFL history with 3 straight games of 10-plus catches and 150 yards. First time that's ever happened. So credit to CeeDee Lamb. He is balling right now.
I didn't see the game. Did they bench them? Did the starters sit the third quarter? Because they could have.
They benched that. They benched
fourth quarter, I should say.
The fourth. Yep. They benched him in the fourth. Which really wasn't shocking. That game was over in the second quarter. It was 28-0 in the second quarter.
It was over in a quick manner for sure.
Yeah, it was over in a quick manner. And I give a lot of credit to Dak. Since that 49ers game, he's 16 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. He's playing phenomenal. He has had a marvelous season outside of that 49ers game, which still at the same time, that was a horrendous game, so can't have that happening if you want to be a true contender. But I'm liking what I'm seeing from the offense. It really looks like they're starting to pick some things up. The running game still isn't quite there. Tony Pollard's not what people thought he would be. It looks like he really was just a product of, Zeke getting the ball consistently and then Pollard coming in to be that refresher, and he had all the juice. Doesn't seem to be the case this year. So I think we're going to be looking for either a running back in the draft or through free agency or top season. Not going to complain about that. Not much more I can say about Dallas. They got the job done. They have another cakewalk this week. You guys will see who they have later on in the picks when they come up. Ian, your Rams are on a bye week, but you guys signed Carson Wentz. Any thoughts how that could correlate to the rest of the season?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's something I was looking up earlier. Just the injury status of Stafford, but he's gonna be gone a good amount. Let me see. Had it up. But yeah, I'm honestly I'd much rather have him than Brett Rippin.
Fair, yeah.
So I mean that's a good thing. But at the same time, we are 3-6 right now. So, I mean, I'm just hoping they can show some pride for the rest of the year, because I mean we're not going to be bad enough to get a top draft pick, and at this point I don't think we're going to be good enough to make the playoffs. But like I said, I'd rather have Wentz than what's his face. Hopefully, Wentz will kind of do to us what Keenum did when he went elsewhere, play like shit with us, but then goes elsewhere and actually does something. But we'll see. Carson Wentz is now 33. So I mean, like I said, it's better than having Brett Rippin, and I feel like he's more of a guy that can steady the ship than Rippin is. Rippin can't stay. He's fucking trash. So.
Yeah, Brett Rippin really didn't show anything. By the way, Carson Wentz is 30, not 33. So he's still relatively young for an NFL quarterback. Still technically time to turn his career around. Maybe with the receiver corps around him, maybe we can see what he can do. And I'm not saying fight you back into the playoffs, but fight you back into a fighting chance. Get into contention, win a few close games. That's always a possibility when it comes to the Rams and Carson Wentz. They still have that loaded offense. So,
well, I mean, Stafford's coming back. Says he's expected to return for Week 11 matchup versus the Seahawks. So
okay, fair enough. So you'll still have Carson Wentz as the backup then, and Stafford's back this week. If you guys can rattle off 3 or 4 straight wins, then I think you might be sitting in a good position. So there's always hope. I mean, unfortunately, I hate to say this, unless you're a Patriots fan, your season's over with. Speaking of being over with, I am over us being terrible in our pick selection. Ian, let's get to that real quick because we were dreadful again, I feel, this week. It did not feel like a good week picking the pigskin.
Alrighty. Yeah, we all got the Jacksonville game wrong. We all had
We sure did.
Did.
The Saints.
The Cardinals game wrong too.
Let me see. The Saints game, we were. Let me see. I think one of us got the Saints. Two of us got the
Justin did.
Saints. Actually, no, it was
Oh,
no, Justin had Minnesota. Me and you had the Saints.
so we both got that one wrong because obviously we know the Vikings won.
I had the Texans. You guys both had Cincinnati. Texans won. All right.
Did I have the Texans this week?
You said what?
Did I take the Texans?
No, you took the Bengals. Me and you both. Justin over there, Ian over there was the only smart one to pick the Titans. The Texans.
And then we all picked the Titans to beat the Buccaneers. So Casey was riding with Tampa Bay all year, and then now he decides to go against them, and they win 20-6. That's kind of funny.
Tampa Bay will always find a way to fuck me, no matter what.
We all had Baltimore, and they lost. The Lions, we all had Detroit. That was a fucking game.
Yeah.
Falcons against. Who the fuck did the Falcons play? Oh, Arizona.
The Falcons played the Cardinals.
Yeah, Arizona won.
And then we all had Dallas. We all had Seattle, which I'm pretty sure Seattle won yesterday. They beat the Commanders by 3.
Yep.
We all had the Raiders, and then we all had the Bills. So.
All right. Seems like a pretty standard week. It feels like we all went about 500, to be honest. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, we'll post.
I would just say it wasn't a great week for anybody. I don't really think so. I think that Texans win was huge for you, Ian, and the Minnesota win was big for Justin.
Yeah, but my fantasy team lost because freaking Sam Howell eclipsed it like 300 yards passing, and I lost by 20. Yep, that's what happened.
Sam Howell is actually really starting to pick up speed. He looks like he's finally getting comfortable in that offense, and it's a possibility Washington may have found their quarterback of the future. We'll see. Only time will tell, of course, but it really looks like that kid might be something. Speaking real quick, before we get into our picks of this week's, speaking of something special, I said it last week, and I'm going to say it again. I was wrong about CJ Stroud.
Yeah, he's being talked about for MVP, for God's sake.
That kid went into Cincinnati and outdueled Joey Burrow, Joey B, the Burronator. He did something unprecedented, and that's just phenomenal what this kid is doing as a rookie. Especially, I know this doesn't mean anything, but it does at the same time. What I'm about to say, being an Ohio State quarterback, none of them have panned out aside from this kid recently.
I miss you, Nick Caserio. I really miss you. I miss you, Nick Caserio.
You should. He has been a wondrous GM for the Texans. I am just absolutely floored by CJ Stroud right now. The absolute consensus offensive rookie of the year. I don't even think that's a debatable notion at this point.
No.
He's so far and away top quarterback in the draft, and he is making a case. I don't want to say the prince that was promised has some competition for the best quarterback in that division, but it's looking that way. Right now, the way CJ Stroud's playing, at this moment, I still wouldn't take him over Trevor Lawrence for a career. No. But if this continues and CJ Stroud just continues to improve, continues to make headways, continues to really show what he's made of, and continues to take the NFL by storm, we might have a different conversation on our hands.
In the league for sure.
Absolutely, no
Pat
question
Mahomes,
about
Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence, CJ Stroud.
Yeah, that's really what it's looking like at the moment. What do you guys say we move on to our picks real quick here?
Hang on 1 second. When I get this cued, here we go with the picks.
The picks of the week, brought to you by Mixed Reactions. So on Thursday, fellas, we actually have, for once, an entertaining Thursday night game. Speaking of Joey B, we got them Cincinnati's Bengals for an AFC North showdown, heading into Baltimore to take on the Ravens.
I got the Ravens in a need-to-win game. They need a bounce-back week.
Well, man, they just collapsed against Cleveland, didn't they? I'm going to go ahead and take the Ravens as well.
This is a tough one. I say Baltimore, too. Aside from blowing that lead at the end of this week, they haven't really looked too vulnerable. And they looked good for 3 quarters, so I got Baltimore.
Great for 3 quarters. Yeah, absolutely.
You got to play for 60 minutes, though.
60 minutes. Now, coincidentally enough, fellas, the next game on the schedule is another AFC North showdown between the 6 and 3. Surprisingly, 6 and 3. It is not. The surprisingly 6 and 3 Pittsburgh Steelers heading into the dog pound to face Deshaun Watson. I don't want to be your masseuse, and the Cleveland Browns. I'm going to take Cleveland. They just keep finding ways to win.
Go with the wife principle. I'm taking Pittsburgh.
Damn. Okay. Justin going to the Steelers.
I trust Mike Tomlin to do what he needs to do to win.
I don't blame you. Like, you could argue that how are they 6 and 3? How are they 6 and 3?
Mike Tomlin.
And TJ Watt. That boy's a freaking monster.
Mike Tomlin in a 1-score game will beat you.
He will. Unless you're Andy Reid. But
I got Pittsburgh.
Unless you're Andy Reid. Or if you have Tom Brady on the other sideline.
Yeah, because Andy Reid has Patrick Mahomes, so that evens out. All right, so you're taking the Steelers as well. I'm going to Cleveland. You two are going to the Steelers. The next game we have Ian's Las Vegas Raiders again, heading to Miami, coming off the bye week to place the Dolphins. What's the Raiders' record right now? It's a 5-5, so it technically would not count as a win against a team with a winning record because it'd be 500. I'm still going with the Dolphins.
Are they really 5-5 right now, the Raiders?
They are.
When's their bye week? Did they already have it?
Well, they're 5-5 this week 11, so no.
Oh, I thought this was week 10 for some reason. Never mind.
Is it week? No, yeah, it was week 11. I have got the Dolphins.
Antonio Pierce has done very well galvanizing the Raiders, but not going to be enough to go against the Dolphins.
Not at all. Next up, we have an NFC North showdown between Tyler Badgett, the Chicago Bears, heading into Ford Field to take on the Lions. Give me Detroit.
Wow, it's a really tough.
That Lions offense is going to be way too much for the Bears. Amon-Ra St. Brown went off last week. Give me the Lions. It's going to
go off again this week. Yeah, absolutely.
It's in Detroit.
Yeah.
9.5 point favorite line.
It doesn't matter where it's played.
Right, no, they would have fucking got their ass smacked anyway, especially with Tyler Badgett back there. Give me the Lions.
So in a bounce-back game for Jacksonville, they're at home this week against the Titans. Give me the Jags.
I'll take the Jags as well. I got Christian Kirk, who's going off as the number 2 receiver to Calvin Ridley. Give me Jacksonville.
Sorry, it was who at Jacksonville? I've been doing it. I had to do it on my phone today.
No, you're fine, Ian. It's the Titans. Titans at Jags, AFC South showdown. A lot of divisional games this week.
We both got Jacksonville.
That's gonna be a fucking good one.
Jacksonville 6.5 point favorite at home.
Yeah, I was gonna say, give me Niners came back and actually looked like a football team this weekend, but I still think the Jags are pretty good. Give me the Jags.
So Ian's going to the Jags as well. All right, so this could be considered an interesting matchup in certain aspects because you got a team from the West Coast traveling to the East Coast to play an early window game. We got the LA Chargers heading into Lambeau to take on the Packers. I'm going to take the Chargers.
Yeah.
They won 3 in a row before that little stumble they had against Detroit, which that might very well be the game of the year. It's not like the Lions walked all over them and it was a demolition.
You said they won
LA
3
held
in a
their
row
own.
prior to that?
Well. Mm-hmm.
Oh shit! I got the Chargers. Feel like this
I
is
like the Chargers too. I like the Chargers too. I like Keenan Allen to have a solid game, and I mean Justin Herbert's been good. I mean he's thrown 17 touchdowns, 5 picks, 2,349 yards on the year. But the Packers just haven't been in with Jordan Love. They just haven't.
I couldn't agree more. So the next game, we all get the charge in that one. Now, this game, Kyler Murray's second start, heading into Houston to take on the rookie phenom in C.J. Stroud and the Texans. I'm not doubting them anymore. Give me the Texans.
Texans. I think Kyler Murray is on the trade block, and it won't be very long before he's traded.
Yeah, I'm with Casey. Give me the tech. I'm with both of you guys. Give me the Texans. Like I said, Kyler Murray's playing almost at an MVP caliber level, and the Cardinals got lucky to roll one off this week against an Atlanta team that really hasn't looked all that impressive this year, despite the fact that they were leading the NFC South. I've got Texans as well.
Me too. So for the last game, or the second to last game, my apologies, in the 1 o'clock window. Now, before we make our predictions, I want you boys to guess the spread on this game. We have the Dallas. I don't know the spread. We can look it up afterwards. We have the Dallas Cowboys at the Carolina Panthers.
I'm looking at the spread, so I won't tell you guys.
Let's all make our picks real quick. Obviously, I'm picking Dallas in this game.
I'm looking at the spread too. It's I'm just gonna say it. It's Dallas minus 10.5.
Ooh, they should cover that.
That seems low.
That
honestly.
seems like it's gonna be a Vegas job where Carolina scores like twice at the end. But I got Dallas in a blowout. It's in Carolina, so
yeah.
It's in Carolina. Did you guys know the spread last week for Cowboys Giants was Dallas minus 17.5?
Oh God.
Yeah,
that's a lot of points in the NFL.
Yeah, so we all got Dallas. Another divisional showdown here to end out the 1 o'clock window. We have the New York, I don't know how to play football Giants against the Washington Commanders. Give me the Commanders.
Do you realize, guys, that Sam Howell has the highest passing yards in the entire NFL?
Yeah, I do. That's why before we started the picks, I was saying I think Sam Howell's really coming into his own. He feels really comfortable with the offense, and I really think it's possible Washington's found their solution at quarterback. Give me the Commanders for sure.
I got the Commanders at home. They're minus 9.5 point favorite on the Giants. That might be too low.
That might be too low. It really might be.
Over under 37.5 points. I'll take the over and the points.
What's the total sitting at?
9.5.
The Washington 9.5. The total at 37.5.
30. I mean, are the Giants even going to score?
Saquon might get one in garbage time, possibly. I suppose.
Yeah, no, I think I would have the over, and I'd have.
Is Tyrod Taylor back this week? Is that why it's so low at 9?
That probably is the case. I think he is back. Because Jones is done for the year, isn't he?
Yeah, Daniel Jones is done for the year. I'm not sure if Tyrod is back. That I do not know. It's because you're right. 9 seems super low. No, as of right now on the Giants website, they're listing Tommy DeVito as their starter in this game. I don't see how this is going to be any less than a 3-score game for the Commanders. So give me the Commanders for sure.
Commanders and the points and the over.
Yeah, me too. All the above.
All right, so we're all on Washington. What's next?
So for starting off the 4 o'clock window, we have the team that's fucked me all season long, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, heading into San Fran to play the 49ers. I highly doubt the Bucs are going to be able to fuck me this week. I'm picking the 49ers.
Yeah, Niners by a lot. Poor kid. I feel bad for Christian McCaffrey. He was I was listening. So Shanahan had him in the game to get the record.
I know 4 straight plays and he couldn't get it.
What record? I didn't watch the game.
Bad.
What was it? 18 straight games with a touchdown.
It was 18 straight games with a touchdown.
Oh, the McCaffrey show. Yeah.
Yeah, and it unfortunately got snapped this week.
Yeah.
I'm assuming we all have the 49ers. No really.
I think McCaffrey's going to drop 3 touchdowns on the Bucs.
It's very possible. It's very possible. So this game, another divisional game, kind of interesting when you really break it down. We got the Jets heading into Buffalo to play a really, really struggling Bills team. We all know what happened week 1. Zach Wilson stepped up for a supposedly torn Achilles Aaron Rodgers, although he might be back in December, so I don't really know. I know Buffalo has been struggling, guys, and I know the Jets have a solid defense. But I'm still going to roll with Buffalo on this one. I just don't think that Zach Wilson magic is going to happen again. I think he's come crashing down to earth. He had a couple good games. He looked good against Philly, of course. He looked good against Kansas City. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Bills win this game handily.
Here's the thing. I'm actually going to take the Jets in this one, and here's why. The Bills are now – they just fired their offensive coordinator, Ken Dorsey.
That could be a lightning in a bottle, though.
It could be. But I mean, the Bills have looked – I mean, they threw the game away.
They've looked what they are,
night.
average.
They threw the game away last night.
Yeah.
Absolutely threw it away. The Broncos had absolutely no business being anywhere near tying, let alone winning that game.
Not a chance. I agree. I agree 100%.
I'm going to take the Jets, and it's going to be close, but I'm going to take the Jets in probably like in a one-score game.
Yeah, honestly, I was tempted to take the Jets.
Ugly win for an ugly win, Jet game win. Ugly win.
Nah, I got Buffalo. I was very tempted to take the Jets. Just considering the fact that Buffalo has looked so poor, but the Jets have lost 2 primetime games in a row. But like you said, there's no Buffalo. Buffalo even came back yesterday, and then they end up getting that pass interference call, which saved my fucking parlay. Stop biting the headphone cord. Get a rolled up newspaper on the snout. But yeah, no, I mean, by all means, they should have won that damn game. So I got Buffalo as well. But I think I have Buffalo in a 1-score game though.
Buffalo in a 1-score game. Now, closing out the 425 window, we have another divisional matchup, believe it or not. We got Seattle heading into LA to play Ian's true team, the Los Angeles Rams. And I'm sorry, buddy, I got to go with the Seahawks on this one.
I don't know, man. This is the closest spread all week. It's Seattle's favored by 1. I mean, Stafford fresh back off of an injury. I mean, he was out for what, 1 game? Right. Well, Rippon played 1 game, and then he had the 1 full game, and then he had the bye. So
yeah. Ooh, man, you're talking and picking the Rams. I'm sticking with Seattle. I'm going to
pick Seattle too. Seattle. Yeah, it's going to be close. I still got Seattle though.
And Seattle's pretty quietly over there. I mean, I feel like they're a quiet 7-3.
They're 6-3.
Or that's what I meant, 6-3. Yeah. Yeah, and they considering the Niners have to. We just talked about who the fuck the Niners plays. The Tampa, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they're gonna do everything they can to keep pace. The Rams are kind of not shit out of. I mean, they got. Let me see who our schedule is, because I'm kind of back and forth on this one, because this is one of those games where I'm trying to figure out whether.
Seattle's only a 1-point favorite on the road. The total spread is 46.5.
Oh, that's going over.
I can see it. I'm actually going to take the under on that one myself. I think I take the under. But I'll take Seattle on the under.
Because I'm looking at our schedule right now. It doesn't. I mean, because after this we play in Arizona, dub. We play at home against Cleveland, probably a L. On the road against Baltimore, big dub. Or big L, sorry. And then we play Commanders at home, Saints at home, Giants on the road, and in San Francisco in Week 18. Honestly, this is kind of a doable schedule, with the exception of the Browns and the fucking Ravens.
I see 3 wins, maybe
Ian,
4.
it's a doable schedule if they win this game.
Right.
Critical to win this game.
This is our biggest game of the year. Fuck, man. Give me the Rams.
Stafford is expected to start.
Yeah, give me the Rams.
The Rams, you got it, buddy. You are taking the Rams. So for Sunday night, now this game, at face value, you wouldn't think it's much. I don't think it deserves a primetime slot, but it does have some interesting factors to it now.
Time out. Real quick. Did you guys both have Seattle?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
yes,
cool.
Sir.
All right, go ahead. Continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're totally fine. So like I was saying, at face value, you're like, why is this a Sunday night game? And I do agree with that. It should not be a Sunday night game, but it has a little bit of intriguing value to it. We got the Minnesota Vikings heading into Denver to play a surprisingly hot Broncos team. I'm going to roll with the Broncos.
Oh, Russell Wilson was in his bag last night. I got Denver as well. In Denver? Yeah.
It's
I got
in Denver.
No Kirk Cousins. Josh Dobbs, though, but watch out.
That's what I'm saying. The game is actually has some...
I'm going to take the Vikings,
Shout
but
out
I'm
Nick
not
Mitchell.
confident in the pick.
Justin on the lone train for the Vikings again this week. Now,
And Russ, I trust. I don't know, man. This is a matchup like this. I look for the better quarterback of the two. Right now, it looks like it's Russ, but Josh Dobbs has been playing insane.
now, boys.
Before you get to this, Casey, I got to start this right now.
This
of the freaking year.
This
Oh,
is
yeah.
what Monday Night Football is made out of. This is what Monday Night Football is supposed to be. We have a Super Bowl rematch between the Philadelphia Eagles heading into Arrowhead Stadium to play Patrick, I should have been a Kermit the Frog voice actor, Mahomes, and the Kansas City Chiefs. Give me the Chiefs.
Oh,
Andy Reid off a bye week.
Arrowhead off a bye week. I'm not going against Andy Reid. Give me the Chiefs in a shootout.
I think this is the point of the season where the Chiefs are going to really start to flex their muscle. I've got Kansas City as well. I say by.
Where's Taylor Swift? Is she still in Argentina?
Oh, she'll be there.
Travis
for
Kelce
this game.
is there.
She'll be there for this game. And I agree it's going to be a shootout, Justin, but I think the Chiefs win by 10.
I was literally I was going to say right before just asked about Taylor Swift. I had Chiefs by 10 as well. So it's kind of funny.
I'm going to say 41-31 Chiefs. Just going to throw a score out there. 41-31.
I was going to say 38. I was going to say 38-32 Chiefs.
I got 38-28 Chiefs.
That's fair. All very high scoring, affairs. It's looking like.
I got 34-24. 34-20. I think they'll both get a field goal.
34-24. That's fair. I can definitely see that. And it's like we said, you don't pick against Andy Reid off a bye week. You just don't do it. It just no. Especially, I know he already got his revenge against him in the Super Bowl, but it's his former team, the Eagles. They want to win that for him. I think the Chiefs are going to be out on a mission, considering what happened to them against the Broncos. I think they are going to be dealing. Watch for Patrick Mahomes to make his way into the MVP conversation Monday night. I think he's going to have a phenomenal game.
Yeah.
And there you have it, boys. There's the pick segment for Mixed Reactions, the best pick segment in sports. I hope you guys enjoyed that as well. What do you guys say we talk a little hoops?
Hoops, eh?
We're finally getting to the point of the season where we can have legit. We're still like 11 games into the season.
Still super early. We know it's still super early. I want to just your guys' opinion on this real quick. Who do you think's looked like the best team in basketball?
The Celtics came out great, but they kind of stumbled a little bit.
Yeah, they're still 8-2. I
say they're 8-2, but
Philly is rolling this year. I mean,
Philly.
Dallas was 8-2. Minnesota 7-2. God damn. I know Anthony Edwards has been balling, which a lot of people thought he was going to break out.
Balling.
I still think Boston.
I think Boston as well.
You got Philly and Boston tomorrow night in Philly. I mean, Philly's on an 8-game win streak. You can't fault. You can't turn your nose up to that. Houston's on a 6-game win streak after starting 0-3. They're no slouch.
Yeah, they just beat I think Denver last night, or they beat somebody like maybe it wasn't Denver, but they just beat Denver. Could be wrong.
That was Houston. 107-104 last night.
How about Sam Hauser, man? That dude is a shooter, man.
Absolute sniper. Now, what do you guys make of the Grizzlies being 2-6? It looks like they're kind of having a fall from grace. 2-8, I'm sorry. Looks like they're kind of having a fall from grace at the moment. And I was very not happy, but I was excited for Memphis when they picked up Marcus Smart, who's a true caliber defender. It just seems like something is not clicking in Memphis right now. Of course, we got the Lakers sitting at 5-5. We got the Suns at 4-6. It's super early. Like, I understand these rankings are going to change so much. There's still 72 games left in the NBA season. So there is so much to be held. There's so much to happen. As of right now,
okay against the Clippers, but yeah.
Everybody's use the Clippers like that one girl that we all know. Everybody gets a turn. Everybody's beating the shit out the Clippers, man.
I don't understand what is going on with the Clippers. Lost 4 straight since James Harden got there. It seems like it should be an all-star caliber lineup. Russell Westbrook, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard.
They got the cancer.
I think this might be James Harden last hurrah, man. It might be time for him to hang up the sneakers.
Just send his ass to fucking Puerto Rico. Like, I'm sick of this shit.
Send him. Yeah, let him go to China and drop 75 a game.
Play basketball in China.
Right. No, that's exactly it. Let him go to China, drop 75 a game, bang all the Chinese prostitutes he wants. We know that's what he wants to do.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's kind of what he wants to do too. And then going back to Memphis, if you just, I mean, I don't know if this isn't necessarily all an indictment on the Grizzlies because it's still impressive, but Desmond Bane is averaging 26 points a game. This dude is balling this year.
Desmond Bane's having a hell of a season so far.
He's taking people off the dribble. He is.
I mean, he's built like an AI bodybuilder, but that doesn't take away from his basketball.
Doesn't he? He has. He's only doing the NBA with like a negative wingspan. He's like 6'5" with a 6'4" wingspan. I don't even know how that shit happens. I might be wrong, but I did see something like that. Yeah, he has little ass arms, but he's shooting 35% from 3, averaging 26 points, 4 assists, 4.5 rebounds. But I don't know, man. I didn't really see. With John Moran out, I mean, I thought maybe they would have won more than 2 games, but this lineup just isn't great.
It's not it. It's not clicking.
Jaren Jackson's not looking like himself. Marcus Smart's obviously he's dropping for 13 points a game, which is relatively consistent with what he did back in Boston, but still turning the ball over 3 to 4 times a game, which is again,
It's consistent with what he did in Boston. I can't wait for that Memphis game where they come back to Boston. Like, obviously, Marcus Smart's going to get a huge ovation.
And deservedly so. Deservedly so.
And then the Celtics going to blow them off the floor.
Yep. By 30.
Yeah, man, Celtics look good. I was watching them last night. And then on top of that, the Grizzlies, I mean, Sean's boy. Shout out to Sean, by the way. Even though we haven't talked to that motherfucker in kind of just went off and left the family, but what I was gonna say was congratulations to him. He won best top of the 10 best rap artist in Lansing. Yeah, so shout out to him. I got the fucking email last night as I was going to bed, and I was like, man, you know how many fucking categories there were, bro? It took me like 10 minutes to find that shit, and I was like, oh wow, yeah, he won. So congratulations to him. We miss you. But yeah, his boy Xavier Tillman, man, he's really looking.
Well, we know what Sean's doing at this exact moment. Now that I'm looking at the sports schedule for tonight.
Oh, Michigan State. Oh, he's playing Duke. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Sean's eyes are glued to that TV now.
He's probably at the game right now. Let's be honest.
Well, it's the Champions Classic. I think it's in like Chicago or some shit.
Oh,
like
I thought it was in Lansing. Okay.
Little score update on that. It's 53-48 Duke with about 8 minutes remaining in the game.
Speaking of the Grizzlies and the Celtics, mind you, I actually came across a Twitter clip of Steph Curry talking about 3 of the defenders who he just could not stand to go up against. If you were to put a figure on 3 players that Steph Curry was legitimately worried about going up against on any given night, who would you say they would be?
Is Marcus Smart one of them?
No, but 2 of
Avery
them
Bradley.
2 of them were Celtics.
Drew.
Avery Bradley.
Drew is one of them. Avery Bradley's not.
So Drew Holiday for sure. I can see
one
that.
of them does have a Grizzlies connection, though.
One of them does have a Grizzlies connection.
How long ago?
Within the last 10 years.
Oh, damn, it's not Avery Bradley. I thought Avery Bradley played for the 2. Tony Allen. No, not Tony Allen.
Tony Allen.
Yeah,
Yes.
Tony Allen. Yeah. Yeah.
And one more who doesn't have a connection to either one, but played it towards the beginning of Steph's career.
What team did he play for?
He played for a lot of different teams. He played for the Lakers. He played for the Pacers.
Fuck, why can't I? Not
Darren
Lance
Collison?
Stevenson.
Nope.
Oh, that was a good guess by Casey.
This should have been the question. Shoot.
Yeah, no, for real. Shit.
Oh, okay, so play for the Lakers.
Lakers?
Oh my God. No, it's not who I'm thinking. No. Ron Artest?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, I would not have guessed that. Damn, how long? I mean, he was only in the league probably for 4 years along with Curry.
Yeah, probably. So not even 3 or 4 at the max when Curry was playing. Yeah. That's a valid defensive list though.
His
Drew Holiday, Tony Allen.
Because Ron Artest's hands were so damn big, he reaches out and the ball's out of your hand.
You know
In
who
his
Ron
prime,
Artest?
he was locked down. Go ahead, Casey.
You know who he struggled against, Ron Artest? Like, he was great against Melo. He was great against Kobe. He was great against KD. You know who he couldn't guard?
Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce and LeBron.
He couldn't stay with them, and if he tried.
He was on, I think he was on Paul George's podcast, and he was talking about how LeBron was the toughest player he guarded because he always made the right decision. He said if you come off on the block, he's going to kick it to the open man. You try to get him on his shoulder, he's going to drive you to the hole. So he said if you play guys like Kobe or Melo or Durant, you know how
They're
not to
shooting
stop
the
them,
fucking
but
ball.
he's like, you know how to contain them. He's like, when you're playing LeBron, you can't really double. You can't really try to take any different types of angles because, he's going to kick it to the open guy every time.
That's still an interesting one. I thought the Darren Collison guess is actually a really good one because I don't think he was ever known as a lockdown defender, but he
wasn't. But I was trying to think of guards. Like I wasn't thinking of a forward.
Yeah, he was Ron Artest in his prime, like that dude is huge. And then Paul Pierce saying that Ron Artest said that he had a hard time going against Paul Pierce. I could kind of believe that just because Paul Pierce, I think Paul Pierce overall is underrated. I think he got a lot of hate for whatever. Don't quote me, but it was something about he thought he was better than Kobe. It was a while ago. But Paul Pierce
was better than D Wade.
Well, no, he said that, and then they roasted him on whatever was it, First Take or whatever around that.
I think what happened to Paul Pierce is people got so turned off by him as a commentator that and of course his couple of years in Washington and his farewell tour of the Clippers, it kind of clouded everyone just to how special of a player he was in his prime in Boston. He didn't get the nickname The Truth for no reason. That boy could ball.
He got stabbed and still came back and played like every game.
California boy from Inglewood too.
Oh yeah.
He's from Inglewood High. Went to fucking.
That boy could ball.
Minor breaking news, possible breaking news. Maybe you guys haven't heard about it, but we mentioned Ben Simmons. He is going to be out for at least another week with a nerve impingement in his lower back.
Let me ask you this: is anybody surprised?
Nope. Shouldn't be, at least.
I figured it would have been a nerve in his vagina.
That's what it seems like it is. And I mean, as talented as Ben Simmons is, he cannot get it together. And
Most
how
frustrated
has
player
he,
I've ever seen. Frustrating.
by
Ever.
far, if Ben Simmons had a jump shot, he'd be LeBron. He's
Straight
that
up.
gifted passing. He's that gifted controlling the pace of the game. I don't get it. What about Ben Simmons is prohibiting him from learning a jump shot?
I
It
don't know.
makes it baffles me. It's one of the biggest mysteries in the NBA. Why Ben Simmons just cannot get it together.
I mean, I don't know, man. See, he was one of those guys, like, because I tell people, like, when Ben Simmons was coming to the NBA, I thought, I mean, and it looked like for a while he was next up, like, especially when he was rolling alongside Embiid. You watch him at LSU, like, that dude was just different. Like, hell, he reminded me of Magic or LeBron. Like, the shit he was doing, the passes he was making, the layups he was making. But you get in the NBA, especially with the way the game is playing out, if you can't shoot, then you're limiting yourself. But now, would Ben Simmons have worked out better? What? 15 years ago, probably, yeah.
Absolutely, he would have.
But yeah, sad case, man. I get so frustrated watching Ben Simmons, bro. Just because I think on his bed, like he's a lockdown defender when he wants to
That
be.
still is to
But
this
he
day.
wants to be. He still can be.
I don't know, man. He's just one of those guys. He's but you can't shoot, and 3 is more than 2. So if you're, and then what the fuck did he shoot in the playoff series against Atlanta? He shot like 13% for the free, or like 18% from the free throw line in that series.
18%. He was.
How? That's what I don't understand. Like, I get it because he's so gifted at everything else.
Yeah, that's where.
But how are you that poor of a shooter and make it to the NBA?
Because he was that good at Montverde, and then his freshman season at LSU. Granted, they missed the tournament, but I mean, he was just that. He was just headed. You just watch him play. If you didn't know anything about basketball, you'd be like, "Yeah, that's a pro right there." Like he was just that good. But I mean, now he.
Oh, I don't disagree. That's what I'm saying. Like I understand how he made it because he's that gifted at everything else. But you think over time he would develop a jump shot, and I'm not even saying that he can't shoot. He won't
can't.
shoot.
He's scared to shoot.
Like he's made a couple threes in the NBA. Like I've seen him in practice buildings.
I think the day he made his first 3-point, everyone like fell over.
Yeah, everybody was going crazy. That was kind of funny. Go ahead.
Well, have you guys seen the videos of him in gyms playing pickups? He shoots well when he actually. Something about the NBA lights, I think, terrifies him about shooting.
I think you're right. Not only on that part, but I mean, I've seen him not even just in open, not even just in self workouts, but like open runs, and he'll be making threes. But something about
Training
the NBA lights, the depth perception. But if you look at it as well, though, like I think this might be fair to say that in practice, with nobody guarding them, NBA players all shoot above 50% from the 3. They at least shoot like 60. Like Steph probably shoots like if with nobody 90. On him, open shots 90. Like no joke, because I don't know, man. It's a mental block at this point. I think after the series when they lost to the fucking Hawks, the series where he was scared to shoot that layup, ever since then it just seems like. He's not a cancer like Harden, but he might be a little bit of a cancer too. I mean, hell, when they played the Celtics, I think it was when they got swept. Yeah, he didn't play.
The bench and watched. Didn't engage with the team at all. Just sat on the bench and watched.
Yeah, absolutely.
In streets, not in gear, not even in like warm up to look as if he was supporting the team. He was in full streets the entire time.
Ian, I have an off-topic question for you, and it's a question because I'm actually not sure in the slightest. You're a USC basketball fan as well, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so my question to you on that, is there any shot we see Bronny James this year, or because of that heart situation where he collapsed, is he done? Like, is he never going to play basketball again? Do you know?
That's a good question. I'll actually look up an update right now because I know before. Well, he was at their Midnight Madness, so he's a part of the team.
He's supposed to play. Last I heard.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's supposed to he's eligible to play, I think. But to my understanding, yeah, they were. Let me see. Bronny James.
Because I get it, they're probably taking it easy.
But taking it easy, yeah.
Okay, no X videos tab. That's not what I want. LeBron James' son started wait, this is the beginning of fucking. Well, I'm trying to find the most recent. let's see, 4 days ago, Sports Illustrated. After entering a cardiac arrest during a team workout on July 24th, Bronny underwent procedure, has seemingly been on a very healthy path to recovery. This is encouraging news for everyone. His heart, blah, 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 blah. That doesn't seem to be the case. He's only 6'4". I thought he was like 6'6".
He's short. Not short, obviously, but
he's
he ain't his dad's
shorter than
height. That's
his
for
dad.
damn sure.
I can't. Yeah, I don't see where it's actually. It's just saying like he might, but I mean I don't know,
What,
man.
what,
Like
6'9", 6'10"?
Yeah, LeBron's 6'9".
I say 6'8", maybe 6'9". I call LeBron.
He's listed as 6'9", but
oh, is he? Oh, I thought he was listed as 6'8" for sure. But yeah, no, LeBron is fucking big too, bro. Like
He's bulky.
Yeah, he's bulky as hell. Like he's way bulkier than LeBron was at the same. Even NBA, it took LeBron. Hell, he's probably bulkier than LeBron was when LeBron dominated the fucking the Pistons that one year. Like it took LeBron a while to get up to.
It took LeBron until he got to Miami to bulk up, really.
Or yeah, in Miami, or like the last couple years in Cleveland. Yeah, like the last couple. That's.
What do you guys think is the ceiling for Bronny? Like, I know that's kind of a tough question because we haven't seen much of him. Obviously, we haven't seen anything from him when it comes to college basketball yet. Now, it's obviously too much of a stretch to say he's going to be just as good as his dad. That's just an unrealistic expectation. But where do you realistically see Bronny? Like, do you ever see him being the face of the league at any point if he makes it?
Too early to tell. I don't think we can even say that, even project that at this point, because you can say the same thing about any player going into college. Like you and I, for example, we can look at Cooper Flag and say he's going to wreck it at Duke. He might not.
That's true.
Or he might
Absolutely.
rock it at Duke, and then he gets to the NBA and he's on the bench because the pros
Exactly.
are so much different. But
because it's like we always say, there's levels to it. There's just different levels of expectations. By the way, Duke just went up 9 with 3 minutes left. We know Sean's pacing his living room right now. Shout out Sean Gardner. Whenever you're ready to come back, brother, we're here for you. But I don't think Michigan State's going to pull this one out, my friend.
Man, say it like he fucking dead. He'll be back. He living his best life.
Shout
out Sean, man. I was happy as shit to see him with that. But as far as Bronny, I got fucking money on Michigan State to win the fucking national championship too. They lost to who the fuck they lose to the other day? They lost to it wasn't James Madison. It was
it James Madison. It was James
shit.
Madison.
You know who Bronny James's NBA comparison is? Alan Ray / Joe Young. Sorry.
Damn it. I wasn't going to say Alan Ray. Oh my God.
I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I just think that it's kind of hard for a 6'4" combo guard. Is he really going to be able to shoot like that? Isaiah Collier is good, and then Dennis Rodman's son has been balling out too for USC. So,
well, Duke just went up 12.
Yeah.
52.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm done making hot takes.
Yeah, that one's over. Well, you did make a college hockey national championship prediction, Ian. And far,
who did I say was going to win in college hockey? Whose theme song is that?
I think we need to kick him off the podcast at this point. You don't know who this is?
Notre Dame?
Oh my God. Notre Dame? Oh my God.
Why would Justin be playing a Notre Dame fight song?
You said I picked the college hockey team?
I'm pretty sure you did, didn't you?
Yeah, you did.
Who did you pick?
That's what I was trying to figure out.
Maybe a team that on Friday night beat the number 1 team in the nation.
I didn't say Maine was going to win the fucking national. I gotta go listen to the other show. I don't think I ever said they were going to win the national championship.
You said they were going to the national championship.
What the fuck? Was I high? Send me the date this happened.
Ian, I think you put it in our chat. I think you put it as a bet.
Oh, no, I was sorry. I was showing you the odds. Did I follow it up? Yeah, I was probably kidding. No, I was just showing you the odds. I didn't place the bet on Maine. Absolutely not.
Okay, I thought
You
you
should
posted
have.
that too.
You
Why don't we
should have.
transition there? College hockey.
I think, yeah, that was a great segue. I think you should have placed that bet. Maine had another phenomenal weekend, jumping from 13th in the nation to 9th. This is weird how college hockey works. They ended up with 4 points over the weekend. The reason being is they beat them Friday night 4-2, and then on Saturday night the game technically ended in a tie where both
Yeah, I
teams
was
get a
seeing
point.
that. People were like tie, tie. But yeah,
So the way in Hockey East, the way that works is you get a win in
It's
regulation,
overtime
you get 3
loss.
points.
Yeah.
If you
No,
go
not
to
an overtime loss, a
overtime,
shootout loss.
right? So there's a shootout loss. So here's how it works.
Right.
So a win in regulation gets you 3 points. A overtime win gets you 2 because you tie for regulation, and you get the win in overtime. There's 2 points.
No, a win in overtime gets you 3 still.
Okay, I take it back. My bad.
Does it?
Thank you very much. Thank you for correcting me. So if you make it through overtime and it's still tied, both teams get a point regardless.
So there was no real benefit for BC to win in a shootout.
There was, because they got an extra point. They got the extra.
If you win the shootout, you get an extra. You get 2 points.
Yes.
As opposed to just 1.
Yes. So there was a benefit.
What the fuck?
Yeah, if you lose a shootout, you still get 1 point.
And if you lose a regular overtime, it's 1 as well.
No, you don't get any points.
You don't get anything. So
you get nothing for an overtime.
You can get 3 in overtime, but if it goes to a shootout, you're guaranteed 1 point. Could have as much as 2.
Yes.
So you guys got 4 points. They got 1 this weekend then.
Well, they got 2. Because they won the shootout.
They got 2. Because right.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. So it was a 4-2 weekend for Maine, which ironically was the score of Friday night's game. Bradley Nadeau once again looked phenomenal the whole weekend.
Lyndon Breen with 3 points on the weekend too.
Victor Osman won the Hockey East Goaltender of the Week. He was standing on his head most of the weekend. Of course, he looked phenomenal in that shootout. I understand, obviously, he let up the last goal that lost the game for him technically, but let's not act like he didn't keep them in it so many times throughout the course of that weekend. He was phenomenal. Of course, Justin
Foster stood on his head for BC, and there were like multiple times towards the end of the third period we had golden grade A shots at point blank to win
the double post. The double post.
Oh God. Was that Nadeau or was that Harrison Scott with the double post?
That was Harrison Scott.
Okay.
Oh my goodness,
it was
the
a
double
left post crossbar double post.
That I thought that was in. The whole arena thought that was in.
The water bottle went up, but it didn't go.
That would have sealed the deal for Maine. Despite taking that shootout loss, I am ecstatic with how they've been playing. I am not hating on that whatsoever. I was expecting a flat out loss following Saturday after what they did on Friday. Still got a point, but boy, it does not get any easier this weekend. I'm just trying. I'm trying to be as optimistic as I can. I hope Maine can walk away with at least 1 point this weekend.
Against Boston, right?
BU at BU.
That's tough.
Maine historically doesn't play that well at BU.
Doesn't play well at BU, doesn't play well at Providence. Either one.
Yeah, that's kind of where our nicks are. I don't see Maine getting a win this weekend. I hopefully they can hold them off to the tie and hopefully win a shootout or something to get that secondary point. But I just don't see it. Unfortunately, I think the Brooms are going to get broken out against Maine this weekend. That's just my personal opinion. Now, if they come out and prove me wrong, I will be ecstatic. I'll be over the moon. Unfortunately, it's just not something I see happening. Justin, do you have any different points of view? Or
I think it's
been a great season.
I think we've got the chance for a decent chance for a split.
Okay.
I don't see them getting blown out either game, honestly. But do I think there's a realistic chance of like an overtime loss in both games? Sure.
Yeah, I can see that. I would be okay if Maine. This is a huge if they can somehow manage to sweep this weekend, they'd be
How do you
top
put them
3.
in the top 5?
You'd have to at that point. I mean, there'd be no bones about it. If they were somehow to pull off a sweep against Boston University, who are they 8th right now?
I'm checking them right now. Hang on a second.
And another big series too, while he's checking that, is UMass Providence this weekend. That's gonna be a big
That's a Hockey East showdown.
So yes, so Maine is 9th, BU is 8th.
Yeah, I can absolutely see that.
BU is 6-3-1, Maine 6-1-1.
Yeah, I mean, all right, make your prediction. I just want to hear what's your prediction for the weekend, Justin?
Split.
Split. Hey, I hope you're right. I'm saying BU in a sweep, but I would love for you to be right on this one. I'd love to see a split happen for Maine. That I think again would project them up in the rankings, or at least keep them steady at 9.
Top 5. It's top 5 with the sweep. But
top 5 with a sweep for sure.
But that would assume that Wisconsin, North Dakota, Denver, BC, or Providence falter somewhere, because there's your top 5 right now.
Yeah, of course. One of them would have to lose a game.
I say they split.
If they do, if Maine can somehow pull off a
split. On the Providence game this last week, or on the Friday Providence game?
I did not.
Okay, so Providence and Northeastern has kind of stunk up the yard the barns this year so far. But Providence and Northeastern, Providence won 2-1 in overtime. But for the entirety of the game, Northeastern got a grand total of 8 shots on goal for the entire 4 periods of play. 8.
How is that even possible?
I don't even know. Their goalie must have been having something out of D3 Mighty Duck first. Like, what? Give me something to do. I'm bored.
I am really bored. Fulton's great. Fulton's great. Even though we can barely even skate.
Exactly. I mean, Northeastern 1 shot in the first, 3 shots in the second, 4 shots in the third, nothing in overtime.
That is horrendous. That might be one of the lowest shots on goal total. Wow. I can't even fathom that.
There were 3 penalties per team in that entire game. And Providence got off 40 shots to Northeastern's 8.
What was the final score of the game?
2-1 in overtime. Northeastern got a power play goal. Whoop-de-doo.
Oh my God. Yeah, Northeastern.
3 shots in the second period for Northeastern went in. 1 of 3.
Wow. I mean, I'll say it this then. If they were to score on 1 of 8 shots, that's lack of detail for the goaltender for Providence. He must have just been
bored.
Yeah. I mean, I understand it's a power play goal, but Jesus, you allow a goal only on 8 shots. Something wasn't right with you that night either. Yeah, Northeastern's not them this year. They don't really have much to really go on, so I'm not really hating on that aspect of it, but 8 shots is still something that just cannot fly. Their coach must have been absolutely embarrassed.
I mean, Northeastern is perennially a Hockey East powerhouse.
Absolutely, they are
2-5 overall and 0-5 in Hockey East.
That's.
And they don't. And they don't have a easy weekend this weekend. They got New Hampshire at home and home.
Oh, that's a sweep for New Hampshire, and I hate to say that.
Oh, I can only imagine December 1st. December 1st, my friend.
Oh. Justin, you said it in the chat, dude. Let's go. Let's go to that game.
If there are even tickets available, I heard they're already sold out.
Really?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
Already sold out.
Already sold out. You got 2 top 20 ranked teams. New Hampshire is what? I think New Hampshire was 12.
Yeah, dude. That I
New Hampshire's 13. Still.
that arena is going to be electric that night.
I mean, the Alphon is going to be. Are there standing room tickets? I'll take a standing room ticket. Anybody?
I would absolutely take a standing room ticket.
I bought standing room tickets for the World Series in 2013. I'll take one for the Alphon, please and thank you.
Yes, for sure. That's absolutely I would. That's going to be an amazing atmosphere. It's going to be loud. That old girl is going to rock.
Shake.
People think it was electric against BC. Wait until New Hampshire gets in there.
Do you think I mean, one thing I'll say about the student section that you made, they're classy, but they toe the line. They toe the line.
I wouldn't necessarily call them classy. I don't think they're
compared
like
to other schools. They're classier. How about that?
Yeah.
Compared to UNH.
How many other student sections do you think chant orgy at the team when they're in the group huddle? Orgy.
It's not just about hockey.
Oh man, I'm right along there with them with it, but still, yeah.
And then, of course, I think it was 2018 when they brought the Wildcat prop and a dildo, and they were doing unspeakable acts.
It was 2017.
2017. Yeah, that one wasn't a good look either. But nonetheless,
how did the students sneak that one in? I want to know.
That's a really good question. I'm not sure. I gotta say, I love some of the chants that the student section does. Of course, everyone in Hockey East does Civ, so that's nothing special. But you know the
goalie Civ for decades.
Yeah, of course, it's just what everybody.
Yeah.
It's just what it's done, and then of course when they're doing their lineup, the so what, who cares, big deal, loser. What is it? Who cares? So what? Big deal, loser.
What a joke. Loser.
What a joke. Thank you. Yeah, what a joke. And then they don't even allow them to say the goalie's name. They try to start to say who's starting in goal for the other team, and it's just Sev. Like,
absolutely.
So it's beautiful there.
Jose Cuervo. Who wants a shot? I do.
I do.
That goalie's mom's buying. Whatever his name is.
Yeah, whatever his name is. And then I'm trying to think of some other ones because it's been a minute since I've entered the Alphond. What are the other ones that they like to do? Yeah, I can't think of them off the top of my head for some reason, but they just have so many unique chants. Of course, anytime we're playing BU at the Alphond, it's BC Rejects.
Yep.
And I'm sure the overrated chant got busted out on Friday when we were beating them.
It did.
I'm sure the overrated chant got busted. And then, of course, if we score fairly early into the game, that was easy.
Yep. Then there was the Puck BC that went down last weekend.
Puck BC. And then my all-time favorite. And I'm not sure if you've ever been in the Alphon when this happened, Justin. If Maine puts up 6 goals, do you know what the chant is?
Bears.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so true story. This was back in 2013 against Northeastern. We put up 7 on them, and we chanted "Touchdown Black Bears." I was in the student section. I was a student at UMaine at the time, and even the Northeastern goalie, who was below us at the time, took his helmet off, which then we started chanting "Ugly Goalie." But then
ugly goalie.
Then he saluted us for the fact that we got into his head. Hey,
Hey, that's what it's all about. It really is. I'm excited. Maine has been way above standard so far this year, so I'm not hating at all. They've been phenomenal, absolutely deserving a top 10. What do you boys say we wrap tonight up and move on to the question?
Ooh.
Who's got it?
Ooh, I don't know.
You know what? I've been pondering on one. I'll take the question away tonight, fellas. Just let me know when you're ready.
Shoot.
If you had the opportunity to meet one athlete, dead or alive, who would you choose and why? Just one athlete that's ever walked the planet. Unlimited access to them. You can ask them any question you want to, and they have to tell you the truth.
Oh my gosh.
Is that part of the question what we would ask them?
No. You can say that if you want to, but that just
how long do we get a day with them? Or
you get an hour. You get an hour with them.
Oh my god, an hour. Dead or alive?
Any athlete or coach for that matter, if you want to throw in a coach.
Kobe. I'm just gonna throw mine out there. Kobe.
What's the reasoning behind Kobe?
I mean, I read a little bit of his book, the Mama Mentality. Kobe was just different, man. I don't know. It just seems like he would have a lot of not interesting takes, but a lot of things that make you think. Like, have you seen those what are those fucking commercials called? I think it was called like the Mamba Way or some shit. The one like Kanye West and all them motherfuckers. Yeah, like
absolutely.
I don't know. Like he's very I don't know if that's the right word, but he's very surgical with the way he does things.
Okay.
Like he's up 4 a.m. and just seems like everything he has is planned out, or not planned out, or planned out, but towards being the best that he can be.
Okay.
So that's why I got Kobe.
See, mine's hard because I want. There's two I want to pick. There's two of them I want. One there were three. There's one that I actually did meet before he fell off the track and field world, but I'll tell you guys more about that another day. But it's tough because I'd either want Brady or Pedro Martinez. Oh.
Two very, very good choices.
Man. I'm going to say Pedro because I watched him play longer.
Let me, just weird question here. Say you were to pick Tom Brady, right, and you chose him. As a fan, would you ask him if he knew about Deflategate, knowing he had to tell you the truth, or would you not want to know as a fan because you wouldn't want to ruin your image of him?
I probably wouldn't even bring it up.
Justin, you know what that tells me? That tells me you think he knew.
Even if even if he did, I don't think he did, but I'm not saying he didn't. But it's not something I'd want to take the time from my hour of spending with him to dwell on.
That's fair. I respect that. That's fair. You guys know who I would pick?
Michael Jordan.
OJ.
Really?
I'd have to ask
him.
He
actually did it. You don't want to know if he
did
it.
I'd have to know. I would have to know. I'm like, did you do it, OJ?
Juice, James Simpson. Did you do it, Juice?
It's just one of those things, man. As a sports fan, it's one of the most infamous sports stories in the history of sports. I'd have to know. What happened, Juice?
Of course I killed that bitch.
That's exactly what he'd say, too.
You probably would.
I'd have to go with OJ, man. Just because it's such an intriguing story and, like, he's such a character that...
I'm surprised he even got out of prison, to be honest.
Yeah, me too, for the memorabilia scam.
Yeah.
He's such a fascinating character, though, that a lot of people think he did it and just don't care.
Not anymore, but don't say that to the Goldmans.
Yeah, don't say that to the Gold for sure. Don't say that to the Goldmans, but I've as many as athletes I would like to meet. If the stigma was I could ask them anything and they had to be honest, I'd pick OJ. If that wasn't the case and I just could meet an athlete, it would probably be like Jordan or
Well, Iverson. I know you're an Iverson fan.
Yeah, huge. Yeah, AI, Dirk, something along those lines. Peyton Manning.
Pretty awesome.
A TO would be a big one for me too.
Jerry.
But definitely Jerry. Yeah.
Mayweather would be up there for me.
Mayweather would absolutely be up there. If I had to pick one and the stigma wasn't that, Ian pretty much nailed it. It would be AI. I don't know if you knew this about me, Justin. I was a huge Allen Iverson fan growing up.
I actually did.
Huge AI fan.
You did tell me that.
I was always a Celtics fan, but just something about AI. Just huge fan of him. So that would probably be my pick if I couldn't ask them anything. But yeah, as far as the question laid out as is, it'd have to be OJ. And I don't even have to spend an hour with him. I'd only want to spend 10 minutes.
I think I'd solidify mine. And if I did have to ask him questions, it'd be Pedro. And I'd want him to teach me how to throw his changeup properly.
Fair. He had the nastiest changeup, so that's a that's a very fair thing.
You know what's another one I would ask? This isn't a player, but it's a team. I'd ask I mean, a shoeless Joe Jackson could read, but I asked him if he threw the 1919 World Series.
He didn't. He came out years and said, I never had anything to do with it.
His teammate sure as shit did, and you know why? Do you guys know why they threw that World Series?
Because they weren't getting paid enough.
Yeah, that's exactly what
they had to wash their own jerseys.
To stick it to the owner because he was paying pennies on the dollar for what they were worth playing, and through the series. Yeah.
Well, boys, I think it's been another fantastic show. It's always been lovely to talk with you boys again. I know it was kind of a shorter show tonight, but we got a little bit of a late start. Anything else you guys want to say before we close out tonight?
Nope, I am good. I'll just let Justin go ahead and do his thing.
Well, you gotta say where we're going though first. You gotta tell us, Ian.
Canada.
Well, if you're gonna go to Canada, don't forget to bring a towel.
Always bring a towel. Always keep listening to Mixed Reactions. Like and subscribe. Good night, fuckers.